Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to check the LDARC M58, a 1:58 scale rear wheel drive micro RC car. This is the ready to run version that comes with a radio controller, and in this quick video I'm going to go over its features and specs, show you how it drives and give you my feedback after testing it out. First of all, in terms of packaging, here you can see everything that comes inside the box. So along with the M58 car, you're getting two extra canopies, one which is painted and one which you can paint by yourself, a USB Type-A to a USB Type-C cable, some stickers, the user manual, a Phillips screwdriver, 4 extra nuts for securing the wheels, and a tool for removing them. In addition, since this is the ready-to-run version, a radio controller is included, and you don't have to provide your own batteries, as it comes with an 18650 lithium-ion battery, which is recharged using a USB Type-C port on the radio controller. In terms of features and specs, the M58 Micro RC car features a built-in battery, and its working time is up to 40 minutes. It features a built-in voltage alarm system, which is basically voltage telemetry, so you'll be able to monitor the battery voltage using the radio controller. The built-in battery is recharged using a USB Type-C port on the Micro RC car. The M58 also features shock absorbers on all 4 wheels, rubber tires, and the beginner mode can be set to 30%, 60% or 100%, which is going to limit the speed and rotation of the front wheels. In addition, here you can see the outer dimensions of the car and the specs of the built-in battery and also the specs of the radio controller. Here is a closer look on the car itself. It features a pretty interesting design, so it is built like a small monster truck. On the back of the chassis you can find an on and off switch and a USB Type-C port that will enable you to charge the internal battery. Now, despite its look, it's not a 4x4 car, so as I've mentioned earlier, it's a rear wheel drive, and over here you can find a small brushed motor and plastic gears that rotate the rear wheels. In terms of dimensions, here you can see the LDARC M58 Micro RC car next to these two 4-wheel drive Micro RC cars by Snicklo. This one is 1:64 and this one is 1:43 scale, so the M58 is somewhere in between and it can pretty much fit in the palm of your hands. As for setting up the car and operating it, in case you are getting the ready-to-run version, the car is already pre-bound with the radio controller. Turning on the radio controller is done by switching this switch to the left. Now the radio controller is turned on, and as you can see, after turning on the M58 Micro RC car, we are getting an indication of the RSSI and we can read the battery voltage next to it. The LDARC CT01 radio controller supports 7 channels. The wheel is in charge of rotating the front wheels to the right or to the left, and of course the M58 Micro RC car features full proportional steering. The throttle trigger will allow you to move forward or backward. These buttons are in use by the FPV version of this Micro RC car and will allow you to turn on or off the VTX. Using this button, you can turn on or off the front and back lights. This is the high beam switch, and most important, these buttons will allow you to trim the steering and throttle channels and switch between beginner, intermediate and expert modes. Button B is in charge of switching between beginner mode for steering, which means that on beginner mode the radius of the turn is going to be smaller than on intermediate and expert mode, and similarly button C is in charge of switching between 3 levels of speed. The lowest one is indicated by the green light, then the white light is intermediate mode, and the fastest mode is enabled when the LED color is red. In addition, by long pressing the roller wheel button, you'll be able to lock the radio controller and the micro RC car. Releasing it is done by long pressing it again. You can also use this roller wheel button to monitor all the 7 channels, and by short pressing it, you'll be able to enter the settings menu. Over here, you'll be able to switch between English and Chinese, adjust the configuration of this custom switch between different models, remap the channels, set failsafe mode, can also set the servo speed, adjust the telemetry options, set the color of the RGB light on the backside so you can differentiate different models with different colors, set the TX type mode, and under advanced you can bind the radio controller with a radio receiver, either with telemetry on or off, adjust the LCD brightness, contrast, switch color, so you can set it to RGB or set it to white. I prefer to set it to RGB because then the colors indicate the status of the switch. You can also adjust the switch brightness, the key tone, calibrate the radio controller, and reset it to factory settings. So as you can see, this is a pretty sophisticated radio controller, especially considering the price of the package. It's also very comfortable to use, and it's the best radio controller that I've seen so far, which is included with this type of hobby-grade micro RC car. For example, here you can see Snicklow's radio controller next to the CT01, so there is some difference in terms of features and also product quality, but unfortunately Snicklow are using a different radio protocol, so it's not possible to bind their micro RC cars with the LDARC CT01. Overall, after testing it out, I can tell you that in my opinion, the LDARC M58 is a cool looking micro RC car. It can get pretty fast when you set the throttle mode to high. It's quite agile. You can use it for jumping over obstacles, but keep in mind that the micro RC car is not very stable and it can be flipped over quite easily. In addition, despite its look, it's mainly intended to be driven indoors or outdoors on asphalt, and it cannot run well over grass. In terms of design, I think that over time, these suspension springs, especially the ones on the back, are likely to fail, and the motor and gear are exposed, so I hope that LDARC offers spare parts. In addition, I would have preferred if the base of the car could have been wider, as it would make the car more stable. And in terms of runtime, I got about 30 minutes of runtime when the car was set to high mode, and if you're going to use beginner mode, the runtime is going to be closer to 50 minutes. In terms of radio range, you can expect about 50 meters in open area, which is not bad in case you are going to drive this car in line of sight, but in case you are going to convert it to FPV or you are going to purchase the FPV version, keep in mind that you won't be able to get too far. In terms of value for money, I think that LDARC offers a very nice product. It might be a good idea for a Christmas or a birthday present, and I think that this is something that you might want to consider getting in case you're looking for a small and agile micro RC car, but keep in mind that it only has a 2-wheel drive and you won't be able to use it outdoors. So in case you would like to get something slower but with a better performance in terms of going over objects, going for these Snicklow cars is going to be a better idea. Anyway, that's going to do it for this pretty quick video about the LDARC M58. As always, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section down below. I wish you all happy driving, and I'll see you soon on my next videos. Goodbye.